Peace, family. Welcome to another day of the 10% Happier Self-Care Journey. It's always a fun time, so I look forward to getting into the topic for the day today. Before I do, I want to make a quick announcement of what this is going to lead to. So thanks for joining me. So tomorrow, if you could set your alarms for tomorrow, 10 a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. Figure out what that is for you, wherever else you are. If you can set your alarm for 10 a.m. tomorrow from this lesson, because this is the conclusion of this particular topic before I go into another self-care topic, go through another course. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., I'm going to air my newest guided meditation that's going to be based around loving kindness. So we just took like maybe the last 2 weeks or so and went through a whole lot of stuff related to this. Like I'm full to the max right now with loving kindness. And so I'm going to start doing this as a ritual where every time I finish a course and we switch to another topic, I'm going to actually do a guided meditation based on everything with my own music and that kind of thing, with me leading the guided meditation, and I'm going to release it. So that's going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set your alarms, lock it in, mark your calendars. Today, loving kindness, final thoughts. Hey, Dawn, I love you. Thank you so much for all that you're giving me and encouragement and support, and everybody else too who's watching this now and later. Loving kindness, final thoughts, 10% Happier Self-Care Journey. Today is 3/26/20. Remember that taking the time to practice loving kindness through meditation and mindfulness, it is a bit of a skills training. So don't look for perfection. I got to do the air quotes because there's no such thing as perfection, people. That's a mental and social construct. The closest thing we can come to the concept of perfection is life as we know it, which has its ups and downs. I'm going to put up a quote after this that I've been thinking about, an original quote, dealing with, I don't know how I'm going to say it, but it's dealing with roller coasters. Life is a roller coaster. It has ups and downs. You got two ways you can experience it. Either with your hands up and screaming with a big smile on your face and just taking it, as it goes, or clenched and crunched over in fear the whole time. It's your choice. Kevin Jackson, what's happening? Teresa, thanks for hanging out. I hope you all are well. Happy Thursday to you. So remember that taking the time to practice loving kindness through meditation and mindfulness is a bit of a skills training. So don't look for perfection within the practice. It's similar to going to the gym, doing reps and sets, working on your form, and developing a routine where you realize that the consistency will develop you gradually. Focus on progress, not perfection. That's the whole goal. You go to the gym, you're getting your reps in, you're getting your cardio in, you're getting all of that kind of good stuff in. You don't expect to come home, take off your shirt, and flex your biceps in the mirror from that day. That's just not how it works. David Wright, thanks for hanging out. It's just not how it works. Now, the funny thing is, anytime any one of us as human beings get caught up in that, we either realize that we're being silly or we realize somebody else is kind of being unrealistic. It doesn't work that way. What you expect to do is develop a practice where little by little, these things come into play and they start to better you as a person as a whole. So focus on progress, not perfection. One other thing I want to say with this too, and this is a good way to do some closing thoughts on this topic before, let's see, tomorrow is Friday, so I'm probably going to jump into the next topic, which is going to be ethics, I believe, on Saturday, either Saturday or Sunday morning. Stay tuned. But the point is, one other good thing to even wrap up this whole loving kindness journey is just another reminder that meditation, there's more things I think that's misconceptions about meditation for most people than things that are realistic. So meaning that, I often say it, meditation is not sitting down and forcing yourself to have a clear mind and then you're in this transcendent place. That's not what it is. It's just, that would be the equivalent of saying that going to the gym is about walking into the gym, taking off your coat, putting it down, putting your gear on, going in there and working out and getting those muscles on and walking out of the gym with the muscles, and then you're done. That's just not how it works. So most people think that, like, if I can't clear my mind, like I'm trying to meditate, but my mind, I can't get things out of my mind. That's meditation. The point is that things are in your mind and you don't try to force them out. You just notice them and you start to notice when you're distracted, and then you take something to focus on and you focus on it for a little bit, and then you, like a 2-year-old, you get distracted again. It's not even 2-year-old. I should have said it a different way. Like a regular adult who has responsibilities out the wazoo, as they say, and who has a lot of things to think about and daily responsibilities and obligations and stresses and the coronavirus and all this kind of shit. Like your normal person, you deal with a lot. So the goal is, there's a misconception. The goal is not that you have to have a forced clear mind. Literally, the practice of focusing on your breath and being able to, for a second, just focus on that and then getting distracted with the grocery list and the laundry list of things to worry about and care about, and then noticing that and then saying, okay, let me refocus again, let me take a breath. That is meditation. If anybody else tells you anything else, they're telling you incorrect information. That is meditation. It's about the reps. It's literally that you just keep repping, and then after a while, it just becomes easy. You don't necessarily have to worry anymore because you live in a particular space. And I'm gonna tell you a little trick here. Dawn says, attention span like a ferret. I definitely feel you on that. And here's the thing. The funny thing is, now, this is a little revert. This is why I love this. Vernon Campbell, thanks for hanging out. This is why I love this, because psychology, right? I'm so into psychology, and I've realized this. It's the answer to all my questions. It's what's allowed me to realize why I'm focused on music and engineering and philosophy and religion and science and like all these kind of things. I'm fascinated with psychology. So what I realized about this is that it's like reverse psychology. Believe it or not, every time you notice your distractions, literally just noticing them allows you to literally refocus. It's just noticing them. What happens is, it's like you become aware of being aware. It's the difference between doing something where it's on autopilot and actually having a part of your brain that now knows that it's on autopilot. That literally gives you a separation to where it's easy to focus. You don't have to try. You literally just settle back in and focus. So it's a misconception, and that's why I always like to roll with the 30-second meditation technique, which we'll do at the end of this, which is just 3 deep breaths and 10 seconds of mindfulness, because it allows people to understand how accessible meditation is and not think that it's some deep subject that only like transcended spiritual masters do and all of that kind of horse crap. So yeah, focus on progress, not perfection. Here's the next point. Instead of focusing on results during your meditation practice, look for the results in your everyday life. You should notice an increase of self-awareness, awareness of others, a more at peace, calm, and self-controlled presence, more room and empathy for others, less impulsiveness, and more thoughtfulness to all your actions. The world may not change around you, but you will change with how you interact with the world, which is the only thing that really matters. So I love this. They talked about this in the course, and so I framed it up like that into a original quote. I'm like, man, I'm kind of proud of that there. But it's like, I like the fact that they talked about it, because I'm like, you know what? That could not be more true. I told a story yesterday, because if you listen to the session from yesterday, hey Eunice, hey Don, hey Vernon, if you listen to the session from yesterday, one of the things I said at the very end was I told a story about what they were saying in the course, where Sharon Salzberg, the creator of this particular course, she was with her meditation teacher who's from India, but the teacher was here spending time, I guess. And so she said that the teacher made an interesting observation, which was that he or she found that Americans were more focused on, when it came to meditation, they were more focused on having this deep transcendent experience and going from here to floating above their body, in meditation. And they said, but I find it interesting because that's what they want. But you all are not as focused on just how to talk to your kids or how to talk to your fellow human beings and how to just be nice. Like, they said you are focused, but not as much when it comes to meditation as that. And they saw that we were missing the point. And that's why I like that they brought it out here. You should not look for the results during the practice. You should look for the results during your everyday life to see, you'll notice an increase of self-awareness, awareness of others, be at more peace naturally, calm, control, presence. You have more room for other people's thoughts, feelings, opinions. You don't have the need to change. Like I just had it happen this morning where I was dealing with a family member and, they mentioned something to me that they had as a request. And I had to honor that request. But I noticed that I could have gotten upset about it just because of what it was, and I could have had my feelings, and I could have tried to negotiate, but I didn't. I felt what they said. It fell flat. It didn't go in. I didn't take it personal. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And now I'm a pretty easygoing guy as it is, but I noticed with these practices, though, it just keeps adding more and more and more and more levels of that kind of like peace, like where it's just like, So that's where you look out for it. You look out for it in your everyday interactions and communication. You have more empathy for others. You're less impulsive. You're more thoughtful in all your actions. And the world might not change around you, but you will change how you interact with the world, which is the real point. And I like that because for the most part, the way I was just explaining to a friend this morning, the way that you change, if you really want to change people, the way that you change them is by changing yourself in this regard. If you're not already at a good place with these things, working on yourself. That way you can give other people who are struggling a different interaction, a different kind of communication, a different kind of thing, where they will, from receiving that, they will realize that they don't have to be the way they're being if they're being some way negative. So you literally are leading by example in your own life with how they see you interact and how they see you walking out your journey. And then also when you interact with them, you're having a particular presence or a way about you that allows them to realize they don't have to be negative, they don't have to be defensive, they don't have to be the way that they are. Because like I was saying yesterday, the only reason why we are the way we are, anybody, no matter who you see and how they're operating, how they're acting, it's because more than likely that was the way that they needed to be to survive in their habitat. Whether they came from a broken home, whether they were in an abusive relationship, or whether they were in a community that brainwashed them with ideas that made them have a low self-esteem or low self-worth. You're seeing the effects of that. Chances are, like my mentor used to say, nothing happens in a vacuum. So you're seeing the effects of that. So the better you have all these traits we've been talking about, equanimity, patience, compassion, you'll be able to be an example, give that person a different experience. And then that's how we change over time. When we see we don't have to be a particular way to receive the basis of life that we want, like love, attention, affection, validation, support, and all that kind of good stuff. Last but not least, continually practice extending loving kindness mentally with phrases like, may I or you be happy, healthy, safe, at ease, at peace, successful, prosperous, etc. Remember, there are no right or wrong phrases. This is an important thing because some of this stuff can sound a little fluffy at times. Come up with your own phrases. Doesn't matter, right? There are no right or wrong phrases. Choose ones that work for you and allow you to not be in your head about them. Also, take short moments throughout the day to take a few deep breaths and to devote a few intentional moments of extending loving kindness to yourself, others, and the world around you, both mentally in thought as well as physically through actions. So there are no miracles with this. What happens is that you practice certain things, and when it comes to yourself, this puts a different, well, I wouldn't say a different, but a continual practical application onto well-wishing. The idea of looking at yourself and desiring for you to be happy in others and wishing that in that direction. The thing is, even if you relate it to what some people do in this vein that we call prayer, it's like the deal is what you're really doing with these well wishes and with these thoughts and putting yourself in these places. You're changing your mindset about things, and therefore you actually interact with those things or those people or that environment or where you interact differently. And then in you interacting differently, then you set an example, and that example, coming from optimistic Aaron, has more positive effects than negative. There are some times when that example won't matter because people will be in their shit. But there'll be many times when it does matter, even when they're in their shit. Like, it still does matter because you still set an example. And people, like I was telling someone not too long ago, people recognize real. People recognize good even if they aren't in a good place to display this themselves. So it's always in your best benefit in my opinion. But that's the thing. These well wishes allow you to work with your mindset, correct your mindset, keep your perspective and perception healthy with regards to yourself and others. And that's how the world changes. Because the more people do this, the more these, us as people will be doing it for each other. It'll just be how we are, So that's what I love about this. Choose phrases that work for you and take short moments to take a couple deep breaths. And remember one final thing, and then we're done. You can't fix the world, but it's not your job to. It's just your job to fix yourself and to put forth your best efforts there to have an impact, a positive impact on the world. And so with that, we come to the close of the self-care session for today. We're going to go ahead and take just 30 seconds to take 3 deep breaths, with everything that we're dealing with in our society today and all the things that we've already been dealing with, and just trying to not even just look at it from a negative perspective, but even to just develop a practice that allows us to be a particular way so that when we need to apply it, it's already there. We're living it. We don't have to apply it. It's just who we are. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. So you can settle in where you are. And if you're in a place where you can close your eyes and that's cool for you and that works, cool. If not, you don't have to. It doesn't matter. The goal is just for us to take 30 seconds to take 3 deep breaths and to take 10 more seconds of just non-judgmental mindfulness to just take it in. So we're going to take long inhales through the nose and long exhales through the mouth. So let's take a deep breath in and out. Let's take another deep breath in and out. And on this third breath, if you can, the goal is we're going to try to expand our belly so that it goes out, and when we exhale, then we'll allow it to go out and allow our bellies to suck in. So let's take this final deep breath in and out. And let's just take 10 more seconds. You can either allow your breathing to return back to its normal pace, or you can continue with that kind of deep breath movement. We're just going to take 10 more seconds of just mindfulness, just kind of being in that place. so with that, we bring this session to a close, and we just remember that you cannot fix the world, but you can do your part by constantly working on yourself a little bit a day, every single day. So thanks so much, and thanks for hanging out for a few. Let me know how that felt for you. Let me know, I'm always looking forward to the next day of this journey. And one more thing I forgot, as I always do, is that I forgot to paste the notes that I just wrote for you all in the chat. So I just put those in the chat just now. Take the time to review them. Take the time to critique them. Give me some food for thought. If there's anything you'd like for me to talk about, or anything you'd like for me to elaborate on, or anything you feel like I got incorrect and you have some thoughts about it. At any rate, no matter what it is, drop your line and let me know what's going on with your self-care journey, how it's flowing, what you're thinking about, and let's continue the conversation. So that's about it. I can't wait for tomorrow morning. Again, for those that just jumped in, make the final announcement and then join me in about 5 minutes for word of the day. Tomorrow, set your alarms, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm starting, I already started it before, but I'm doing the second installment of my own guided meditations. And so since we just came to the end of this loving kindness, 2-week journey, I'm actually going to do my own original guided meditation that has my music behind it. I'm recorded here in my studio, and I'm going to release that tomorrow at 10 a.m., but not just release it. I'm going to come on for the self-care session and basically just do an introduction, say hello to everyone, and then we're going to actually go into that. I'm going to show the video and everything, and we're going to all just experience it together and go through the meditation. So set your alarms for 10 a.m. EST tomorrow, and yeah, I'll see you then, or I'll see you in 5 minutes for a word a day. Peace.